Yeah, what's happening, y'all? This is the next installment of the Liberated Nations video series, and today we're going to talk about Alabasta. Now, the Alabasta arc is where you start to see a bunch of mini arcs coming together to tell a one whole story. And quiet as kept, Drum Island is part of the Alabasta mini arc. As I said, there are several. But at the end of the day, Alabasta is this nation that used to be lush with trees and lush settings and just wonderful landscapes, and it's all desert now. It hasn't rained in a very long years and years, droughts. It's bad, and quietly all of that is because of the person that decided to take over the nation, and he is what they called a warlord. So if you are at the warlord arcs in One Piece, then you realize that the Marines are not the only policing agents, so to speak, in this world. They have relied on who they call warlords, which are nothing but really strong pirates and pirate crews, to kind of stem the tide for the smaller pirate crews, try to wrap them, knock them completely out, and to keep the emperors of the sea, who are the really major players, to try to keep them at bay. So that's what the warlord system does, but these are pirates, so pirates tend to take advantage of any and all situations, and Crocodile has definitely taken advantage of his warlord status there in Alabasta. And so Luffy has to come and find all of these things out. As he's traveling, he and his crew, they stumble upon a spy network called Baroque Works, and they have to get through that, and apparently Crocodile runs that. But this is also where they pick up a very important member of the Straw Hat crew in the one Nico Robin, who at this time is actually working for Crocodile. But she has her own agenda, and it is not his agenda. So there's that. Once you get into this arc, I mean, from the beginning to the end, it really takes you there. It's very dramatic. There's a lot going on. But again, at the end of the day, here comes Luffy. He saves the king. The Princess Vivi is a friend who almost joins the Straw Hat crew herself. And Vivi ends up playing a much bigger role later on in the series as well. But again, none of this happens if Luffy does not go to Alabasta, if Luffy does not decide to help. Because that's the whole thing. He's not just going to see, he'll show up. He may see atrocities or whatever, but it is when someone asks him to help is when he does. And that's when that's when, yeah, everything goes the way we like to see it go. And now again, none of these battles are easy, and to this point, Luffy is tested the most he's ever been. So check out the Alabasta arc again, and Alabasta ends up being a very important kingdom in the ancient kingdoms. The original princess her story tells a very strong tale, and it ties into everything. Alabasta is so important going forward, and it could have been lost very easily if it wasn't for the Straw Hat crew.